Security in Rome was just as tight as anywhere else the U.S. president travels. All roads leading to the Vatican were closed, with Barack Obama riding in the Beast, his armored limousine. Inside the Vatican, the barricades gave way to the pomp and ceremony of the Swiss Guard. Sources said Obama was keen to highlight the two leaders' common ground. He called Francis an inspiration. It was a coming together of two men whose influence is coupled with remarkable personal charisma. Obama, the politician who came from relative obscurity to become the first African-American U.S. president, and Francis, the Latino Pope, who's brought new vigor to the Catholic Church. Both have made disadvantaged members of society a priority. The talks took place in private, with the pair speaking through interpreters. Some Catholics had high hopes of what could be achieved by the encounter.
I'm hoping that as a result of the meeting, there'll be a greater peace.
Although world peace may remain an elusive goal, it seems the leaders did manage to build a rapport. The meeting was scheduled to last 30 minutes, but it stretched to almost an hour. Afterwards, Obama spontaneously invited the Pope to visit the White House, an invitation Francis immediately accepted.
Talking about how all roads are leading to Obama and to the 9th of Av, August 4th. But a few days ago, on May 20th, the World Health Organization signed a pandemic agreement, a historic pandemic agreement. Now, something has happened since then connected to this. So the first thing I want to go over with you is this report from the World Health Organization. World Health Assembly adopts historic pandemic agreement to make the world more equitable and safer from future pandemics. May 20th, 2025. Now, since then, there has been a new variant under high-risk monitoring, as many airports have shown positive cases of the new COVID variant NB181. And so there's an initial risk evaluation of NB181 starting on May 23rd, 2025. Okay, so if we wanted to take a look at this information, obviously there's many reports about this, and you can just do a search on this, NB181, and the risks. But according to the World Health Organization, NB181 has been designated a SARS-CoV-2 variant under monitoring with increasing proportions globally, while LP81 is starting to decline. Considering the available evidence, the additional public health risk posed by NB181 is evaluated as low at the global level. Currently approved COVID-19 vaccines are expected to remain effective to this variant against symptomatic and severe disease. Despite a concurrent increase in cases and hospitalizations in some countries where NB181 is widespread, current data do not indicate that this variant leads to more severe illness than other variants in circulation. Okay, so if you want more information about the NB181 variant, obviously you can go to Google and you can put it in, NB181 variant, and you'll have all of this information that is going to be coming up, and you can read about this. But what I want to show you is the importance of this number 181. Okay, now if we go to Gematrix, which is a gematria calculator, all right, and we just put in the simple number 181, all right, 181. World Health Organization adopting a historic pandemic agreement, and then 3 days later, now there's a new variant under monitoring, a high-risk variant that is going to be taking center stage in the coming days. It's already showing up at airports across the United States, and we have this number 181. Okay, now if we go to the gematria calculator and just put in the simple number 181, the first thing that's going to come up This is the first thing that comes up under 181. Just put in the number 181, okay? And the first thing that comes up is Barack Obama. 181 in the Hebrew or Jewish, and 181 is Nephilim. So you've got Barack Obama connected to the giants, connected to a mixed race, and connected to the number 181. Okay, so now we see why the World Health Organization is adopting and getting prepared through a pandemic agreement, and then within days, a new variant is coming out. It's got the number of Barack Obama on it. Now, if we go back to the beginning of the end times, which started at the rebirth of Israel, and even before the actual independence of Israel, we had the Palestinian Partition Plan. Okay, remember the Palestinian Partition Plan, which was adopted November 29th, 1947, called for the partition of Palestine. Okay, this was Resolution 181. Okay, Resolution 181, Variant 181, Barack Obama, and the Nephilim 181. Now, if we want more information about 181, we can go directly to the Strong's Concordance. In the Greek, 181. 181 is disorder, confusion, instability, tumult, disturbance, upheaval, revolution, almost anarchy, first in the political and thence in the moral sphere. 181 generates confusion, things being out of control. In other words, 181 is connected to the chaos, and they're going to need to bring order out of this chaos, order out of chaos. And so 181 is connected to the chaos. If we go to the 181 in the Hebrew, 181 in the Hebrew, it means to bear witness, to testify, to warn, to admonish. To bear witness, to testify, to warn, to admonish. From an unused root meaning to rake together, a poker, like for a fire, a brand, a firebrand. Amos 4:11 uses this. It says, I overthrew some of you as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and you were like a firebrand plucked from the burning, and yet you have not returned unto me, says Yahweh. So this is a warning. This is a warning to turn back to God. This is a warning that if you don't pay attention to what is happening around you, you will end up like Sodom and Gomorrah, and God is trying to pull you out of the fire. God is trying to bear witness, to testify, to warn, and to admonish you to step away from the way the world is doing things and to be plucked out of the fire, to be saved from Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, so 181 connected to disorder, to chaos, connected to bearing witness, to admonishing. So the World Health Organization is preparing for something. They know ahead of time, just like they did with COVID. They planned it ahead of time. So they set up a new pandemic agreement, and then within days now they have a new variant coming. 181, very important number, connected to the Palestinian Partition Plan, which was, 181 really, if you consider this is the beginning of the end times. 181 is connected to the beginning of the end times. Okay, it's connected to Barack Obama, and it's connected to the Nephilim. The Strong's Hebrew Concordance also speaks very, very strongly at the importance of this number. So this is just a secondary update and a follow-up on what I shared with you a few days ago in the World Health Organization Pandemic Agreement. And now we've got a variant that is connected to Obama. It's connected to the Nephilim. It's connected to chaos. It's connected to a major end times warning. And I just want to let everybody know what is happening and what these numbers mean and why we need to be watching always. These are not random things that just happen. These are things that are planned and set up in advance, and they're warned of by God in His Word, given to us as warnings and ways that we can understand. So this is what I want to share with you. I haven't had a lot of things to share in the past few days. I've been watching the news and trying to see what is happening. I mean, there's so many different things happening.
Tonight, I learned something that keeps with my brain, and I want to share it with you. Watch this. I want you to go to Google and Google Translate Latin to English. And I want you to write here, AstraZeneca. Do you see? AstraZeneca. The road to death. If you don't know what AstraZeneca is, here is it. For all the people who took the AstraZeneca vaccine, good luck, Habibi. Peace.
The Moon's descending node of the orbit on December 14, 2020. A solar eclipse occurs when the Moon passes between Earth and the Sun, thereby totally or partly obscuring the image of the Sun for a viewer on Earth. A total solar eclipse occurs when the Moon's apparent diameter is larger than the Sun's, blocking all direct sunlight, turning day into darkness. Totality occurs in a narrow path across Earth's surface, with the partial solar eclipse visible over a surrounding region thousands of kilometers wide. The Moon's apparent diameter will be larger because the eclipse will occur only 1.8 days after perigee. The path is similar to the solar eclipse of February 26, 2017. It takes place just 17 months after the solar eclipse of July 2, 2019, and, like the 2019 eclipse, is also visible from Chile and Argentina. It is also a partial solar eclipse in Bolivia, Brazil, Ecuador, Paraguay, Peru, and Uruguay. This solar eclipse will occur one lunar year after the annular solar eclipse on December 26, 2019. Totality will be visible in portions of Araucania region, Los Rios region, and a very small part of Biobío region.